Bigly. It was a bigly conversation. We talked about legal tax evasion, how to reduce your taxable income so far the government can't put their greedy, fraudulent little hands on it. It's good stuff. What's up, YouTube? Good morning. Bienvenidos. Konnichiwa. Those are the only 3 languages I know how to say good morning in. I'll have to learn some more. Buenos dias. There you go. Buongiorno. Yeah. Ni hao. There you go. You always have to do the Italian pinch when you do the buongiorno. The hand motion, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. All right, market's now open here. Let's take a look. Guten Morgen. I like it. There you go. Burt Macklin, great name. I love it. Oh, man. Market is now open, baby. Market is now open. Silver's way up. NASDAQ putting on a little top wickeroni. Let's see if we get a little too much too fast here so far. We have a nice little top wick on NASDAQ, still holding a doji on the 5-minute, 25,064. And we're going to get a little TMTF, hopefully. Hopefully we'll get a little TMTF, a little bit of expansion on these candles, rolling back over as we speak. Let me get the YouTube cranking. It is non-farm payroll week. Non-farm payroll, of course, is infamous for reversing. That's what I'll be looking for. I apologize for the missus making a lot of noise. 25,630 right here. Let's go look at the S&P. S&P is 69.42. That is definitely going green right here. We're coming up to 6951. Options chain is both selling calls and put today. That's pretty much been the same the past couple of weeks. At the money, IV this morning is about 16%, slightly higher than last week. SPY is currently trading at 687 right now. Premiums are kind of cheap. Premiums are kind of cheap. S&P is still going. Right there. $686.9, $689 right there. The week starts out kind of light for catalysts, of course. Let's go here. Let's go there. Top of the hour, we have ISM Manufacturing, 3-star event. PMI and prices. 12 o'clock, we have Atlanta Fed GDP, 2-star event. And that is it. That is it. ES is big green so far. NASDAQ is a little bit less green. A little doji, kind of hanging out here, pushing and pulling. NVIDIA is bright green. Everything else is mediocre or red. Tesla's up big green. We have got XLF. Most of the S&P, not X&P. S&P is green. We have a little bit of red rolling back over here. Silver has a little volume coming in at 26.2. Maybe we have a little bit of profit taking on silver after 7.4%. Keep an eye on them. Large red candle on NASDAQ. How you doing, YouTube? Already, our stream is larger than last week, any day last week, which is fantastic. Good to have everybody back for a refreshed week. Why is it doing that? Okay, it's still not working. There we go. Beautiful. All right, S&P is holding up quite nice. They're up about 40 points overnight session. NASDAQ is withdrawing. Up on ES, red on NASDAQ. I don't like to see it. We have call selling, put selling today. Both sides of the option chain. We have the VIX is rolling over from 15 down to 14.9. We have a major trend line rejection. Silver is starting to come off here. We have a lot of volume on the opening candle. If you zoom out to the 60-minute chart here, the S&P just tapped Friday's highs, and obviously Very small top wick here, but still not rejecting yet. After that, we have the 6950. After that, we have 6961. After that, we have the high of about 7,000. SPX, watch out, is 6,900. The main level on SPX is 6,900, and we are 1.2 points under 6,900. So we might have a little resistance there. AVGO, getting wrecked. NVIDIA, not getting wrecked. They are green, although kind of chilling up here at 192. So the S&P needs to show some gumption here. We have a lot of 5-minute and 1-minute top wicks at this area. NASDAQ is sliding lower. Silver starting to come off here. It's just a little bit of profit taking. What's up, YouTube? If you look at the daily chart on NASDAQ, we had a very, very large trendline rejection. Very, very large trendline rejection. Silver's coming off. Silver's coming off big. Silver. There we go. NASDAQ all the way down to the low of the day. Beautiful stuff. ES selling off 69.35 and dropping. There you go. S&P is dropping 69.35. Can we reach back down the low of the day? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Top wicking or bottom wicking. Silver got wrecked. NASDAQ is still downtrending. That is a 120-point sell-off on NASDAQ for a beautiful too much, too fast move. I'd love to see it. And still consistently, that is one of the strongest plays I can offer you. Too much, too fast. Overall support is 25,520. The S&P just bounced all the way back up. Overall, not crazy action. The best play so far, too much, too fast on NASDAQ. S&P just bounced all the way back up. Y'all are quieter than anything. Let's see. Oil. I want to go take a look at the daily on oil. What do we have here? Oil, 58.1. Oh, man, they had a high volume sale at 62.45, 58.11. Oil hasn't moved now in a long time. Let's see if oil can get down to the 30s. I'd love to see it. Maybe we'll start paying under $1 a gas for $1 a gallon for gas. $25.85. Love it. What's up, RDR? Good morning. Start the party. That's right. Blew my account on silver, and then it went up $2. Got to be careful with silver, man. Got to be careful. It stopped me out last week. I showed y'all that it stopped me out literally to the penny and then bounced. That's what silver does. That's what silver does. That would be nice. I was happy with the $2.65 per gallon the other day during the travels. That's what they want, Jonathan. They want you to be happy with $2.65, so they can keep it there. Gas should be under $1. What's up, XX? Yeah, need another 1,500 to pass. No, I feel you, buddy. I feel you. All right, what we got? $0.25 a liter. Is TPT unusually slow with a monthly bill? No. At least not. I'm not. You know, I think I've never experienced that. Right here, gas should be $10 a gallon. Heck no, man. It would shut the economy down. Wall Street firms are traveling to Venezuela for investment opportunities, quote unquote. A 26-year-old person was arrested after trying to break into J.D. Vance's home. Oh my gosh. Did he have purple hair? He did not. Although I wouldn't really call him masculine. He did not have purple hair. Got to give him something. S&P is dead flat. NASDAQ is at the bottom. Now, questionroni for you. Does NASDAQ come up to join the S&P, or does the S&P sell off to join the NASDAQ? Right now, the S&P is climbing. Still holding 69.40. NASDAQ is top wicking. Keep a close eye on silver for possible volume. We have a little bit of volume coming in right here at 75.85. Can they hold it? Another top wick on ES. And I'm just asking myself the same question I've been asking myself since the 80s, which is what's love has got to do with it? No, I'm just kidding. Right now, I'm just really trying to figure out which one's going to catch up. Is ES going to drop and undo some of this, or is NASDAQ going to come up? Right now, NASDAQ is getting wrecked. NASDAQ's coming all the way down to 520. The S&P just needs a little bit of momentum, and it'll come back down and fill some lower here too. Apple's getting wrecked big time. AVGO is getting wrecked. Microsoft got wrecked, and they're unwrecking themselves. So far, this price action on ES is absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. Rebalancing volume today? Yeah, probably. Probably. Stop. Sorry. I'm feisty, man. I'm telling you. I'm looking forward to this year. This is going to be a fantastic year. This is going to be a fantastic year. Hey, another bottom wick on NASDAQ. Can't go anywhere. You gave the gabagoo. Meta is straight up. I guess that is the poison of choice today. I feel like Wall Street has a big old, spinning wheel, and they just spin it and figure out who they're going to pump that session. Today gets Meta. Dun, 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 dun. Over and over again. Amazon rocketing. I guess they're going to invest in Venezuela. Apple is dropping. Nvidia is getting wrecked. AVGO is getting wrecked. Google got wrecked. There's a lot of red on the NASDAQ, but 2 green names, and that's holding everything up. NASDAQ is still dropping. ES is holding 69.40. Silver still dropping. Right here. Gold's 2%. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, Trump has come out and made a comment that he is going to pause the IRS for 90 days. But there's been a lot more chatter from Trump this weekend about actually abolishing the IRS. I told you, I'll stick to it. If he actually abolishes the IRS, I will get a Trump tattoo on my butt cheeks. Does anyone have the options flow screenshot? 149 million calls sold, 38 million puts sold. Very weak options data. Just one cheek. Just one cheek. me too. TR on the left and MP on the right when you spread. Oh my gosh. That is horrendous. Horrendous. Man, this price action is awful. What is going on with this? What is going on with this? I wasn't expecting 5% or nothing, but something better than this. This is just horrendous. Silver bells, silver bells. NASDAQ is chilling at the bottom. ES is 69.42. If S&P takes out the 46, then we're going to have a squeeze. If I see this type of green action overnight and we don't get a morning retracement, most likely that's a squeeze session. And we'll probably come up another 20, 25 points or so on the S&P. So just be wary. Especially if the NASDAQ bounces. If NASDAQ bounces or recaptures highs and goes, then the S&P is going to fly. Silver coming up here too. There he goes. ES new high of the day. I would expect at least 55 on the S&P. Like I said, they're going to squeeze it. So far, this is the largest hourly green candle on the S&P we've had, and as far back as I can scroll. Since December 19th so far, this is the largest green candle we've had, especially without a wick, and it's still going. Squeeze day. Mondays when he does his trend. I wish. I'm going to do so much steroids when I get a hang of it. So far, NASDAQ was the play of the day. That was the one I was looking for. ES hasn't barely moved. And now NASDAQ is putting on a bounce. Technically, we do have a high volume 3C. It wasn't incredibly high volume, but it was a higher volume. Once we claim, up we go. Keep a close eye on silver for possible opportunity. 3Cs, baby. How many countries develop their own nuclear weapon programs in the next 3 years? Less than 5 or more. I don't know. Was SI not 76.155 for the third C? Yeah, so if you're looking for the 5, the high right there is 76.22, whatever the high of that candle was. Yeah, 76.22 is the third C for on the 5-minute chart. Double high volume bottom wicks cleared and broke out again. High volume on NASDAQ or on S&P. But everything's closing higher. Like I said, this looks like a squeeze type session. Gold has high volume. Yep, gold has high volume. Silver has some volume on the area right here. We're going to see what they could do with that. Third C on silver would get us, I don't know, at least down to 76. We'll see what they can do. Sweeping top wick on a yes. Oh man, where's Mojo? You putting on some condors today? Where's Chris? Let's go to the 5. 5 is coming up to overnight highs of 4451.7. And that is about it. Silver's there. ES, sweeping top wick on ES, could be a 3C. Could be a 3C. Been laying out, needing a rest. First trade of the year, 100% gainer. Started off right, going to work. There you go. I caught 2 scalps to the upside, but the recent bearishness is getting me stopped out to protect profits. Nice. Look, that's a large top wick. That's a 10-point sweeper on ES. Not looking good. That is 2 major top wicks on the S&P, and this one has higher volume. So if they do start to give us a little bit of profit taking here, your first target is going to be about the 69.30 realm. After we take 69.30, then we can come on down to 69.12. But that's a big if. Like I said, they came into Wednesday's highs. I was looking for 55. We got 50. I really melted down between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Needed a good, easy trade. Well, at least you know that. So well done. Getting back on the horse and just taking it easy. Volume is still forming on this candle. We have 11 minutes until we have 3-star data. Data. Third C on ES is technically 69.36. NASDAQ is still attacking lows of the day. They have a whole bunch of support in the 25,550. Silver's still going. Went from green to red year to bad. Year to day hurts. You did that on Christmas week. Dang, dude. I know that's not fun. Yeah, just make note for next year. I don't recommend trading around the last week or so of the year. It's just not typically a good session. It's usually very slow. Just don't do it. You know, use that time to spend some time with friends and family. Drink some eggnog. All right, 69.38 on the S&P here. Not looking good so far. They squeezed it up to 69.50. A little bit of red. Vol isn't dropping. Yeah, it dropped right down a little bit to 14.88, and it's still holding 3.5% at 15. That's just the inflated of the VIX after such a prolonged holiday period where they killed that thing down into almost 12s. Sweeping top wick on the S&P. Looks like we're going to try to at least go for the lows of 30. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. I learned that too. The volume and price action was really awkward compared to non-holidays. Yeah, it was just terrible. It was terrible. I'm going to be releasing a ping today to see who's still in the running for the competition. If nobody's still in the running, then I'm going to start a new competition, and we'll get that rolling. We'll start a fresh batch. So just be expecting that today. The TPT competition. All right, 69.35, and yes, we have no volume spike here. We had a high volume roll. We have no volume spike, so I could potentially look for 69.30. If 30 gives out, then we'll attack. Then we'll attack down to 14 or so. If you're on YouTube and want to be a part of the Discord server, this is a great time to do it as we release the next competition. All right, 69.34.5 on down to 30. I took a Costco call when you called it out in the alerts channel, looking very good. Heck yeah, man! That signals channel was fire last week. So I appreciate you. Appreciate the comment, man. I'm glad it looked out well. If bulls can't rally today, we are in deep distribution and doo-doo. Yes, laces out. Still holding 69.30. Big green candle. We have data in 7 minutes. 6 or 7 minutes. 281 million calls purchased, 39 million puts sold. High volume failure. I love it. I love it, baby. That was a quick 10-point green candle. High volume again. Silver. Silver is a game changer, baby. It is a game changer. Dun-dun. NASDAQ is still holding 600. Daily chart. Six minutes till data. ISM manufacturing prices. Liquidity is thin. The options chain is thin. Price action is weak. There's not much going on here. Where do y'all think this is going? Where do you think the data is going? Down and up and down, up and up, down and down, flat, nothing burger? Ooh, burgers. Burgers sound good, dude. I love burgers. ES is retesting Friday sell-off. Yeah, buddy. Here's the hourly chart. Hourly chart. We have a top wick. We have volume. We have a whole bunch of sweeping moves overall. Nothing burger. Down and down would be nice. Yeah, it would, Primal Con. Yeah, it would. Muy interesante. Silver. Going green, baby. Silver's breaking out again. They're up 8.3%. This is the golden era of silver. silver, I should say. High volume on silver. High volume on silver. ES is top wicking. 3 minutes till data. Possible high volume inflow on silver. That's the second highest volume candle of the day. Keep an eye out. You need a confirmation. Do not step in front of the freight train of silver. I promise you, you don't want to do it. If there is one name that you may need to wait for 3C confirmation, it's silver. Silver will wreck you like no other. Like a scorned ex-wife. It will take everything you've got and sleep with your neighbor. Alrighty. NASDAQ is rolling. ES is flat. This is terrible. Christmas price action was better than this. This was better than this. Come on now. Give you something. Give me like a 4 or 5 inch red candle right now. That'd be glorious. They gonna dump it? You think? Well, the bulls continue to fumble. For 3 weeks now, the bulls have been in the red zone with the football. And all they had to do is just take Marshawn Lynch and run it up the middle to score. What do? They throw a pass, 2-yard pass, and it gets intercepted every time. Sorry, that's an old reference. I stopped watching football right about the time that play happened. Solid reference. Yeah, that was good stuff. Missed a good fourth quarter last night. 2 good field goals. Nice. That game was wild. All right, 2 minutes till data. 2 minutes until data. We ain't got nothing going on, baby. NASDAQ is holding lows. ES is starting to roll a little bit. Silva, high volume top wick, baby. We have a confirmed 3C on the silver. Magnets were in full force last night. I don't know what that means. Would love to see YM and NASDAQ synchronized now to the downside. I'd like it. I think the options data won't be as reliable as normal for the next week or so. I'm seeing a lot of shares being sold. Options won't take that into account. Well, I am going. The zeros are very telling, and a lack of zeros is also telling. Right now, the participation in the market is non-existent. The options are as flat as I've seen now in months. It's been a while since I've seen a 0 DTE options chain look this flat, this nasty. VIX is still holding 15. It's up 3%, but it's still at 15, which is pretty low for our environment. Another big bottom wick on the S&P. Here's data in 60 seconds. Sorry. Another top wick on NASDAQ. Another top wick on the S&P. This feels rolly. Well, the bulls can't put on a rally, man. And we do need a little too much too fast. 40 points on the S&P in this environment is a lot. So maybe get a little too much too fast move. And then just watch the volume, 10 seconds, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. See what they do. So far, just a small little candle, top wick back over. NASDAQ is doing this. Silver is climbing back up. S&P is expanding. Can't really recommend a lot of trades here. This is about as awful as it gets. Right here. High volume. Another top wick. Buyers can't hold nothing. There's volume on that candle. We have a sweeping top wick again. This is now like 15 sweeping top wicks we've had. Are they going to test lows, or are they going to do what they're going to do here? So we'll see. NASDAQ is rolling over. Silver's coming up here too. Silvers might break out. They are selling off calls here. They had an initial spike on calls. Now they're selling them back off, and they're starting to buy back some puts here. So maybe that was a sweep. I don't know. Terrible stuff. Top wick on silver. Oh man. S&P still holding. What does a trace tell us? There's nothing on the trace. Man, this is the worst price action we've seen in months. This is terrible. This is terrible. Silver. Chilling. 8%. Silver's starting to sweep a little bit. A little bit. This roller coaster is making me sick. I feel like I'm going to take a put. All right. I'm good with this. I'm shutting it down. Have a great week. You too, 6 of 6. Good stuff. Can you go over here on what it's showing? Sure thing, Dave. So what we're seeing here is a 0 DTE options flow. Zeros. The green line is calls. The blue line is puts. All of this data is presented in what's called delta notional. Meaning, if you understand that calls are delta positive and puts are negative, or delta puts are delta negative, when you buy a put, you are exposed to positive delta. No, when you buy a call, you're exposed to positive delta. When you buy a put, you're exposed to negative delta. So when you see the green line going up, that's call buying. When you see the blue line going up into positive delta territory, that means they are selling puts. So what we're seeing here is call buying and put selling, which is a bullish, double bullish, I guess I'd say, is actively bullish. So all I'm looking for is heavy skew. Any kind of analytical tool like this, whether it be Bookmap or Spot Gamma, I'm looking for skew, meaning who's overwhelmingly controlling the book. If it's kind of flat, there's not much value to it. If they're overwhelmingly controlling the book here, which we're seeing here is bullish activity, then I know that things are quite bullish right now. It's just another way for me to test the litmus test in the market. ES is about to break out here. There's just absolutely zero appetite for selling. Although, despite the fact that we've had 3 high volume top wicks at 69.46, there's no top wicking that's holding on the 5-minute right here. So if the S&P can close 69.46, 69.47, then I would probably say we're going to at least going to attack this 51 and then up to 61. This just looks like one of those days where they're just going, and they're never going to stop. We're already up almost 40 points since 8:30, and there's no selling. So ultimately what I'm saying here, if you're going to short anything here on this chart, especially with as slow as this is, you have to have a 3C. And even then, it's just very slow. So short-dated options probably aren't your best bet today because data is going to take its toll with as slow as it's going. The gaslighting continues, manufacturing at a 14-month low, but they keep telling us the golden age has begun. Yeah. Why is the market so sluggish? Is the big money waiting for some catalyst? Well, the market has been pretty sluggish now for, since early October. So we're going on almost 3 months or 4 months of the market just not going anywhere. And I think a lot of that has to do with that, the euphoria of the market is dwindling. There's only so many things left that they can kind of manipulate to drive the market higher. And we're kind of reaching that 2026 mark. Gold is rocket ships, baby. Rocket ships. Straight up. Straight up now, tell me it's gonna be you and me forever. When you refer to call buying, is it SPY, X, or Qs? This is SPX. Good question. Hey, what you're seeing is SPX. It might be slightly different for SPY, but it'll still show relatively the same stuff. All I want for this year is to catch 1.8% move on silver. That would be glorious. I've already done it once on an eval, but I need to do it on a funded. $67 to 76 there, 69.41 again. Still looking. Boring stuff. Boring stuff. The VIX is coming off nicely. The VIX is coming off nicely. You can only look at SPX, not the combined signal. Yeah, there's a difference in those two. The SPX obviously is driving the SPX index. The combined is combining the option chain analytics for multiple different names. So it's a little bit different. I prefer to do the actual data. NASDAQ is creeping up here. The S&P is continually just grinding here. Absolutely awful price action. Absolutely awful price action. ES is stacked below. Yeah, we do have liquidity lower down to 69.30. That is the main liquidity right now. But there is zero appetite for selling at the moment. Zero. Until you get a high volume 3C close, do not short this. They've been grinding it up now for almost 3 hours. without a single ounce of selling. NASDAQ, beautiful. NASDAQ had a much better time of selling. Now they are properly gathered to go higher. But what's happening here is that we have a green S&P that was, and we had a red tech. So the S&P didn't sell. Now the NASDAQ is starting to bounce. So now we have tech that's helping along in the S&P, which is going to make it very difficult for the S&P to drop. So all I'm saying is that don't take any short positions on the S&P or puts until you have a 3C. NASDAQ might be a little bit better. NASDAQ silver's rolling back over. Gold is up here. Rolling. 15-minute doji, 2-minute, 15-minute dojis. Can gold sell here? There's a possibility of a 3C top wick on gold here. Possibility. We have a lot of volume coming in at the highs. Gold's up 3%. If they can close under this little shelf of 44.61.6, we can have an extension down. We can have an extension down. It's a possibility. There's a little bit of move here coming down. Trying to. Little 3Cs. SPX 69.25 is on the cards in 35 range. Yeah, buddy. Silver's rolling off here too. There's a 3C on gold's playing out nicely. Playing out nicely. NASDAQ is starting to roll over. The S&P is still chilling. Platinum, man, this is boring. Gold's fantastic. Silver's putting on a 3C, or I'm sorry, oil's putting on a 3C bottom wick. Silver rolled over nicely after some high volume top wicks. Gold's doing the same thing, baby. There's your 3Cs, high volume. There's setups to be had here. We just have to go hunting. We just have to go hunting. We got to go hunting. Watch the 3Cs, baby. There he goes. NASDAQ starting to shift a little bit. Right there. Starting to do it. S&P is, man, this is boring. Holy crap. Creating the P shelf. Yeah, well, it's absorbed the liquidity. Man, I don't even want to look at this stuff. This is awful. This is just awful. What is the 3C's again? 3C's stand for 3 criteria. First criteria is volume. So when I'm looking for entry, the first thing I'm going to need to see is some sort of participation, which means volume. I don't want to take price action without volume, because that's where you start to get wicked out. That's where you start to get liquidity grabbed. That's where you start to short the lows and buy the highs. I don't want to do that. So if the market's moving, I want to see where the volume is, because I want to be on the same side of the trade as the big guys, the big dogs, starting to look a little toppy here. So volume. Second criteria is going to be wicks. So I want to see a wick associated with the volume. And the third C is I want to see is follow through, price action. And I want to see the price action is able to go where I think it's going to go. I bought a TPT account yesterday and they haven't received the Trade of 8 logins. How long does it take? They've been a little slow today from what I'm seeing. But usually it's pretty fast. It doesn't take too long. So try logging out, logging back in, and then try logging into, well, I guess you can if you don't have the credentials, but usually it doesn't take that long. Look, every single little red candle is instantly bought back up. So, like I said, no shorting whatsoever unless you get a follow-through. I would rather have an engulfing red to analyze than try to top all these candles, because every little candle is immediately bottom wicked, and this is going to go higher. There's too much buying here and not enough selling. We have 800 million of calls purchased, 670 million of puts sold. Very bullish for the total of about 1,300,000,000 delta positive. That makes sense, Wayne Wallace? Good question. Silver bouncing back up. Gold, beautiful 3Cs right here from 44.61 down to 44.54. Beautiful. Silver's still doing its thing. $1 billion. You're welcome, Wayne. Good question, buddy. Thank you. Good question. Oh, man. I want to buy a farmland in Venezuela. Imagine being surrounded by crops. Yeah. I want to go to Argentina, baby. Tim Walz drops out of the governor race for Minnesota. S&P is still going. Did you start? I didn't mean to. Unintentional. NASDAQ is going. S&P is going. It looks like S&P is going to squeeze and break out to 69.50 or so. Overall, though, it's very tight. NASDAQ is still going here, too. They're going to test the high of 672. Gold's still here. Silver's still here. Beat me to it. I'm telling you, we are about to crank up the farming big time. This year is going to be a big year for the OM household. Especially, I had a conversation with my boy Damien over here about what to do. That's another thing we're going to get into. And yeah, it's going to be a good year. Cattle, crops, greenhouses. Yeah, buddy. Everything is rising. Yeah, big time. One of the very few good things about all these Californians moving to my beautiful city is the fact is they all have that creates a market for local organic produce, and they're willing to pay for it with their tax dollars and the California dollars. And I'm gonna milk them for every dollar they got. I'm taking all your California's money. They're bringing their voting habits with them. So far, no. A little bit here in the main city, yes, the capital city. Yeah, they've completely destroyed that city, like they've destroyed their own country, their own state. But so far, I mean, it's kind of limited. It's kind of limited. $1.1 billion calls purchased, 820 million puts sold for almost 2 billion positive delta, and the S&P is breaking out, baby. It's breaking out. Houston's worse than Fallujah. I don't know if I would agree with that, but I'm sure it's pretty bad. Yeah, Austin. I spent some time in Austin. It was horrific. Uh, they need to, they're obviously that there's like some sort of embargo, trade embargo against deodorant in Austin, Texas. I think one of the most horrific combinations of smells is body odor and incense. All right, here we go. Here comes the squeeze. Here comes the squeeze. That's pretty awful too, Lowen. Pretty awful too. 11 up to 50. So we have a bit of a trend line. It's still going. That'll put us right on top of Wednesday's lows, last week's highs. I'm sorry, highs, not lows. This little thing going on here. We have no real high volume spikes, and they're just doing their thing. Let's see, silver is still coming up. Gold's coming up here too. Does lead to big breakouts? Yeah, it looks like it. We'll see though. Although, overall though, it's slow and whatever. The price action is bad when we're talking about smells. Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Little red candle, NASDAQ. Bottom wick. See, every single candle is bottom wicked. Every one of them. Do not consider short positions on this. These are the type of the days that wreck accounts, and I'm giving you the script, which means no shorting. Not until you get a high volume 3C. Every red candle is just liquidity farming, gathering more inventory to go higher. Don't do it. Don't do it. RTY is going up here too. NASDAQ is finally caught up. Yes, now all of the big players that were getting wrecked, they recovered. Meta's going green. AVGO recovered about 30% of it. Amazon is flying, so tech is very, very green for the most part. And NASDAQ has responded appropriately. ES is about to put a new high in and go to 52.55. We have 1.3 billion calls purchased. They are absolutely piling into calls here. Very, very bullish. So which positive gamma, very much positive gamma here, which is going to be a tailwind for the markets, which means no propensity to sell right here. It's going, baby. City sidewalks. Man, I'm so ready for springtime. Although I tell you what, man, we've had a very warm winter. It's hard to beat a warm winter day. It's hard to beat it. I think it might be even better than the warm spring days because the benefit of it, especially when you have land, is that there's no leaves on the trees, so you could see. Everything's clear. You can go kind of explore the land. There's no ticks, there's no bugs, no insects. So I can go walk around the whole property and explore stuff that I normally can't do in the summertime because you get covered in ticks. It's been like 60 degrees and clear skies. It's beautiful winter weather. Love it. Hard to beat. As long as there's no wind. All right, some more red here. Some more red. Silver's gapping down. Interesting. Interesting move on old silver here. Well, it's on the 1 minute though. I might be a little aggressive with that comment. Top wick. You did, Damien. You did. You're killing me, Smalls. Killing me. ES, immediate bottom wick. Every single red candle is bottom wicked on the S&P. Every one of them. NASDAQ, same thing. Silver, they put on a bottom wick there. I just need a good quality trade. I've already had one. I need another one. We were 60s in December here. Yeah. Yeah, I spent a week in Colorado, man. It was nuts. With low IV and lower volume, it's hard to have confidence anymore. Super low position size. Well, I read a good tweet this morning I was just kind of looking around the markets and the news headlines, seeing what was going on. And I read an interesting post, which is fantastic. A guy said that one of his clients was, 7-figure trader. He was not well known. He wasn't, doesn't have a sexy system. Doesn't have a following on social media. None of that stuff. And the guy asked him, "Hey, what did you do?" And he was like, "I just trade one simple setup over and over again. If I don't see that setup, I don't trade." And he's like, "Trading is the most difficult thing you could do, but not because of the technical knowledge. It's because the hardest thing in trading to do is nothing. The number one hardest thing in trading to do is nothing." Can you do nothing when nothing should be done? And that was his whole theme, is that I am the most patient person in the world, which is why I'm worth millions and millions of dollars, because I can wait until I see the exact setup I want, and then I size in, I make the money, I get out, and I don't touch a single trade again until I see exactly what I want to see. And it's a very good point. It's a very, very good point. It's like the casino. The longer you play, the more you lose. Yep. Oh, big green on ES. Look at that. Rocket ships. Breakout. Here's the breakout. The boiling pot of water gets squeezed. 1.7 billion calls purchased. 942 million puts sold. Absolutely monster green move. They just took out Wednesday's highs. Now they're going for Tuesday's highs. I think they already took that out too, didn't they? No, they didn't. Not yet. Not yet. Absolutely monster green move. Look at that. We are now going 3 hours in a row without a single material pullback, just squeezing on the S&P. Wow. Going, baby. We have a gap at 69.80. Yeah, so we're squeezing, baby. We're squeezing. Bottom wick. So they rolled it all the way back over to 52. Instant bottom wick. Every red candle is instantly bottom wicked. Do we have volume? We have a volume on this candle, but of course, the environment is not conducive with shorting. Silver, still chilling at 69.62. ES is still going. Climbing, 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 baby. Just rocket ships. No shorting. The option chain is highly supportive of bullishness. Very, very bullish option chain. We're almost 3 billion positive delta. Did gold roll? Let's take a look. Yeah, gold rolled. Beautiful high volume. 3C still playing out on gold. Silver's trying to. Oh, that's hilarious. Sorry, I saw a tweet. You'd appreciate that video, Dan. You'd appreciate that video. That's funny. You saw that already? I love it. I love it. It's fantastic. All right, ES, instant top wick, and guess what? Surprise, surprise. Immediate bottom wick. They're buying up every red candle. We have 3 billion in positive delta. It's just flying, baby. There's like a magnet up here, and it's just pulling the price action up. Extreme, extreme positive gamma today. Not on the macro, but on the zeros. Extreme positive gamma. And the market is just pulling higher, 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 higher. And it's going to destroy everyone. The more you try to short this, the higher it's going to go. Not a single pullback in 3 hours. And NASDAQ is now going to go to 61. And then after 61, it's going to get to 67. And after that, 85. You will know when it's time to short through volume. When you have high volume, you'll know it's time. And until that happens, up we go. What would be the target on NASDAQ? Oh, man. Friday's highs, 803. 803. Silver top wick. Yeah, put in the O at the end was pretty funny. I got a kick out of that. All right, still going, 69.60. Let's go to the daily chart. The S&P is putting on one of the strongest bounces now we've had in a long time. And a long time without a wick. 69.60 still going. We are up 100 points almost since Friday's lows without a single material pullback. NASDAQ is starting to do the same here too. Let's go to silver. Silver's there. Nothing else to say. Just play it, baby. Play it. $69.55 right there. Oh, man. Hmm. Hmm. A little bit of red forming. A wee amount of red. A little bit of red. A little bit of red. Still holding. Just closed my calls. Nice, Lowen. Well done. S&P, of course. Instant bottom wick. That's what it's going to do. That is what's going to do. Until the volume comes, baby. Until the volume comes. Oh, man, oh, man. That was super cringe when Hegseth said it. Super cringe. Hey, instant bottom wick. What would pausing the IRS for 90 days look like? What would that even do? I don't know. It's weird. All right, we do have. They just bought 700 million worth of puts. I'll tell you. They just bought 700 million worth of puts. So that's not immaterial. That is not immaterial. Let's go to the 5. Would that pause federal tax on paychecks? Honestly, I have no idea. That's never been done before, so I don't know what they would do with that. I'm sure we'll still have to pay our taxes like good little peasants that we are. But you never know. I'd like to think we're in the days of revolution. Yes, that's the longest time we've had a red candle without a bottom wick so far, and we have 700 million worth of puts purchased. So you never know, people. Maybe we get a full-on reversal. That'd be nice. Give a little volatility here. Get a little volatility. Social Security would be impacted. Yeah. Probably right. Alrighty. 69. We got a little. They're selling the crap out of some calls, too. They just sold off $1 billion worth of calls. They just sold off $1 billion worth of calls. Gold bottom wick. S&P still holding 69.49. We have a trend line touch right here. Oh, man. XLF. Man, look at XLF. What happened to the banks? What happened to the banks? ES, big bottom wick. That'll probably put us to new highs. For someone only focused on trading NASDAQ, would you say it's enough to watch options flow of Qs and NDX, or would you still? Yeah, I mean, if you want to trade the S&P, that will probably do you just fine. I would probably prefer to throw in SPX as well, because SPX, obviously is a major part of the market. But yeah, that probably would be okay. Big old bottom wick, of course. Surprise, surprise. Silver's chilling. Gold, high volume, 3C bounce. Gold, high volume. Qs have been very gexy today. Yeah, buddy. Oh, man. Still going green right here. Still doing its thing. Still doing its thing. ES is doing nicely. Gold would have to break 44.55.5 to confirm. Let's take a look. Gold. On the 5-minute, yes. That's correct. On the 1 minute, it's already up, but again, 1 minute is not good confirmation. Silver, about to put a new high of the day in. ES is still chopping 69.50. We still have put buying, call selling at the moment. They, like I said, they've purchased about 700 million worth of puts back, and we'll see if that plays out into anything. We do have this SR flip that's right about here. Prior resistance, new support. That's what they're defending at the moment. You're welcome, Zach. Good question, buddy. This is the Bulls' opportunity to finally get something done. This is the opportunity. This is a fantastic response to the holiday week. If they can hold this, we might be able to at least try to touch new all-time highs again. But if they sell this thing off again, that is it. Kaput. That's it. The Bulls are running out of steam here. They're trying to shovel coal into that steam engine, but it's coming up short. Hey, another bottom wick. Surprise, surprise. As I said that, the Bulls are like, all right, I got you, fam. I got you. Sorry, was that Gen Z enough for you? We're about to go get Colombia's president too. Colombia's president just called Trump a coward on TV. $500 million puts sold, 1.7 billion calls purchased, and 69.52. Silver just went nuts, bro. Just went nuts. $77,040. Man, look at that volume on silver, man. What a freaking move. Now, what do we have going on silver here? We've got this trend line. We have got the high from Tuesday. We have some tremendous volume on this past candle. Tremendous volume on this past candle. What are they going to do with this? Keep an eye on silver. There might be an opportunity. That's the highest volume candle of the day. That is a silver alert right there. Silver alert. If we can get a close, this could be a phenomenal move. Usually when I see volume like that, that is material move in the works. And we could get a good move to play. In fact, I'm going to post that in the signals channel. That's material enough for me to post. Volume alert. Silver. 3C trigger is 76.89. There we go. Ay caramba. Squeeze the shorts, then dump it, probably. Probably. 3C gold, baby. There it is, homie. There it is. There goes silver. There goes silver. Oh, man. Jeez Louise, I missed the oil trade. I blame you, David. I blame you. Look at that move already out of the gate, Yahtzee. Does the high cost of spot gamma, are there any lower price platforms? I don't. That's the only one I use. Wow. Wow. Man, I love volume. You tell me you can't trade volume. You tell me you can't trade volume and be successful. That's all you need, baby. Be patient. Do nothing until nothing should not be done, I guess. I kind of messed that one up. Oh man, until nothing's required of you. Yeah, definitely. I've been out a lot recently. Can anyone fill me on the meaning of the three C's? Really? I thought you've been around long enough to know the three C's. But I'll fill you in. Yes. Did you main silver to the upside with volume? Negative. Short position on silver. Yeah. So three C's are three criteria. Three criteria stands for. It's just it's just VPA in a very clean-cut technical way to describe it. First criteria is volume. Second criteria is wick. Third criteria is momentum, price action, movement. So definitely. I did post a YouTube video about it. I recommend you go take a look at it. It's about a 10-minute long video. Kind of goes over all my details. And of course, we're going to be releasing the three-part series going over the intricacies of the criteria of volume. Hey, instant bottom wick across the board. No shorting. Absolutely no shorting. Let's see. There we go. There's that. There's that. There's that YouTube video. And I'll post it on the YouTube channel as well. So you can... There you go. There you go. So, yeah, what do I mean, Derek? No, who said that? No, Krant. Yeah, so you have volume here. That is material volume. That's the highest volume candle of the day. What does that tell me? We have a supply block of sell orders right here. And what happens off of that? We have a top wick from 77.20 to 76.74. If you know anything about silver, that doesn't look like a big move, but that is a tremendous amount of profit right there. Silver is a big boy. And normally we're not getting 1 point of movement like this. That's a full point of movement on silver. Normally we're getting like 0.1 points on a move like that. That is extraordinary, and that's a lot of money. If you take 2 or 3 contracts on that, we're talking $4 grand on that move. It's extraordinary. Need to read Coling soon. Thanks, Jefe. De nada. De nada. So is the move done? No. It's just basing. The moves, typically you don't get moves that just go straight, they just don't go straight down. There's going to have little bounces and movements and consolidations. So until you claim a higher high, you remain short biased on this position for now, temporarily. And then once the market puts in a higher high, it's telling you that the downtrend is done, and that's all you're going to get. Because although I can look at the 3 C's in play, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't tell how far it's going to go. I just can tell you that it's going to put in at least a temporary pivot. Is there a micro silver available on TPT? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Hey, look, big bottom wick on the S&P. Still, we're going on 4 hours straight of not a single retracement on the S&P. They are selling calls here and buying puts, but still there's no propensity to sell the market whatsoever. It's just up and 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 up. No selling. Silver, beautiful little top wick here. It's starting to buy back up. Right here. TPT won't let you trade silver. Yeah, they won't let you trade micros. They could trade minis, but they won't let you trade the micros. I hate these type of days. Absolutely hate them. Slow, grindy movements that never sell off. There's no volatility. These are like the worst type of... I would rather the market be dead flat than do this crap. I hate it. Yeah, Christmas sessions were better than this. It's terrible. Silver still chilling. Nasdaq is there. Another red candle. Just can't go anywhere. There you go. Coming up on 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. A little bit more red doing its thing. Seeing what we're going to do. Is the silver store still valid? Negative. Once you put in a higher high, it negates it. Although you could get a double top here, but yeah, once you put in a higher high. Every red bar, sell every green. Every 5 minutes. Yeah, pretty much back and forth. Micro silver on TPT is SIL. Mini's just SI. There you go. I want to trade gold-silver ratio, but I don't know how to hedge between MGG and SIL. There you go. Figure that out, let us know. Hey, a little bit of red candle on the S&P. It'll probably bottom wick, though. You see this red line I've got? That's the SR flip. All right, it's not rocket surgery. There's your SR flip right here. Prior resistance, new support. If they break this, the bulls will have a temporary, or the bears will have a temporary reprieve, and they'll bring this back down. If they can't, no shorting. There's your morning high and low. Más o menos. I need to kill a couple more deer. I've got only about a week left of the season. I need to have like a deer jihad. I'm a little struggling with one of the 3 C's, the volume one. What is a properly volume? Volume is relative. So there isn't a quantity of volume that you want to really define. It's just whatever the environment is. If you see an outlier spike in volume, you have to track that. If you come down here and look, if you could see, let me make sure you could see. If you look on today's session, for example, that is volume, that is volume, that is volume. Those are the only 3 volume spikes we had. Now look, the S&P gave us here. That is volume. The S&P on this one gave us here, and the S&P on this one gave us here. So all 3 resulted in some sort of a drawdown at the highs. High volume spike, sell. High volume spike, mini sell. High volume spike so far is the top of the day. So anytime you have volume, that tells you that the market has hit either supply or demand. Volume is participation. The volume is the key to understanding what the market's going to do at what prices. It's all relative. Some, on another day, these may be considered low volume spikes. It all depends. I don't even know where you got that. Holy crap. The flying deer. That's hilarious. You're welcome, Xavier. Hey, another bottom week. Bottom wick, right on back up. They are buying back puts. We were once 1 billion puts sold. They're now only 440 million. So they bought back hundreds of millions worth of puts, and they're starting to sell off some calls here. So it's very boring. Silver, beautiful double top wick off of his resistance and play. I feel like an LFG candle's coming. I'd like to have an LFG candle. Get us something going here. This is boring. This is boring. ES is just chilling. ES is just chilling. Painful. It is painful. Hey, another red candle on silver. Playing out the 3C short. Can we do it? Right here. This is where you start to get some momentum on the double top wick rollover. Clear out the upper inventory. See if we can do it. Super high volume. Super high volume. Let's see if they can do it. at which point we'll target the 76.49 area of liquidity, starting to extend. There we go. Starting to get a little crazy. On silver, starting to get a little crazy. What's it going to do? A big, gigantic red candle would be a glorious, glorious move. There you go. There you go. Here comes silver. Keep an eye. That's the play of the day right now. That's the play of the day right now. Let's get it. Oh, hey, another bottom wick on ES. We're going on 4 hours straight of not a single top tick that held on ES. But silver is putting on fantastic plays. Fantastic plays. What y'all think? I know I've been kind of boring today, but hey, what are you going to do? What you got? Momo crowd overbought silver fund money to move to SPY. What are you going to do, you know? Volume is most important metric since the information captured is based on actual trades occurring during the auction. You're correct. Ranked volume candles support regime shifts, though it's more important to know where the volume came from and why it came at that level. Lots of layers to information. Often highly correlated options flow. I don't know. Oh, what just happened? Did I just miss my... Yeah, hold on a second. I think I just unplugged my mouse accidentally. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. What were we talking about? Yes, about to put a new high in, baby. They're about to squeeze it. Squeeze. Up and up and up and up and up and up. These are the absolute worst type of days to have. Absolute worst. Forget the S&P and NASDAQ. I took my one trade this morning. Silver's where I'm at today. Too much money to be made on silver, man. All you have to do is you can catch a small piece of that pie, and you can make a tremendous amount of money. Florida is looking to eliminate vehicle registration stickers. Man, I need to move to Florida. Man, there's just so much freedom happening in Florida. You can carry weapons freely, openly, everywhere. Now they're going to do away with vehicle registration. They're going to think about doing away property taxes. That's called freedom, baby. California ban on open carry just got deemed unconstitutional. Nice. It's sad it took a Supreme Court to tell people that that's unconstitutional. But whatever. That'll work. The last 2 days. Yeah. Now I just want to be able to carry an M240 openly. I think everybody should be able to carry an M240 everywhere. All right. Truck mounted saw. Yeah. Now I can carry with my tank. I love it. There we go, we're back. Just looked it up at my work, and my work has it blocked. Uh-oh. That ain't no good. Hey, this is what it looks like. Oh, yeah, you got it, Phil. Me and you were just right there, DV Phil. We're just right there, baby. I'm currently treating blood in my shirt because I got clocked in the nose button in my MMA class this morning. Still took the guy down. Yeah. Yeah. That's always fun when that happens, man. $1,900 with $40 shipping and handling per rifle. Custom fit rifle case included with each rifle order. I'm telling you, man. See, at some point, you know, the civilian market, the CMP has been selling M1s for, you know, decades, and they all came from surplus from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, etc. And then they became Russian rifles, Swedish rifles, and then they started mixing parts, mixing and matching parts. And now it's very rare to be able to find a World War II M1 Garand that's complete with the serial numbers, but you can do it. M1 carbine and M1 Garand are the same. No, they're not even close. The carbine and the Garand are not even close. The carbine is a much, much smaller rifle, 30 caliber. Let's see. Hey, a nice little top wick on ES. Can they do something with it? Silver is still mix and matching up here. Anybody have any questions? I need to mute for about 5 minutes. I'll be right back. The S&P is doing the exact same thing they were doing back at 10 o'clock. They stuck, they grinded it, they popped it. Now they stuck it, they're grinding it, and they're about to pop it. And they're probably going to start taking out last week's high levels, which is going to be up in the 69-62 area. So just be ready. It's doing it over and over again. You know what the beautiful thing about these? The only good thing about days like today, because I absolutely loathe these type of days. They're my worst type of days. The beautiful thing about this is that if they continue to do this, I am going to short the piss out of this in power hour. If they don't sell it off until power hour, it gives you an awesome opportunity. So what I'd like to do is take $1,000 and put it on like a 10-point outside the money SPX put that's 15 cents and watch it go to 10 grand. Because it does it on days like today. Still going. There we go. 60. Here comes 65, 62. $2 billion in calls purchased, 800 million puts sold. Still going. All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, ES, new high of the day right there and launching. We are now up 60 or 50 points since 8:30 this morning without a single pullback. It's squeezing. This is straight, raw, positive gamma. Nearly impossible to short positive gamma environments, and it's just going. Nearly impossible to short positive gamma environments. I wouldn't say nearly. It is impossible to short positive gamma environments, so don't do it. Does silver look like it's going to squeeze on that pivot? Let's see. Silver. I don't like that we're triple touching this high volume pivot. I don't like it. And then they're sticking to it. This looks like breakout setup. I don't like it. So just be careful with this setup here. Since I missed most of the stream and I was not able to hear much, what were your thoughts on the Venezuela? I haven't talked about it. I didn't talk about it. You know, it's whatever, man. A lot of the citizens appear to really like what happened. You know, he was not a good person, but you know, of course, a lot of people are saying, does it give us the right to go in and steal a president? You know, it seems kind of ridiculous, but you know, I don't know. Honestly, I hadn't put too much thought into it. If you want my full opinion, I will never support a single thing any president or the government ever does again until I get till the IRS is abolished. I don't care about anything. I don't care about any social program. I don't care about any credits. I don't care about any war. I want the IRS abolished. Until that happens, there's no more such thing. We don't have a country anymore until the IRS is abolished. There's no such thing as America or patriotism or waving a flag until the IRS is abolished. That's my opinion. $69.55. A mix. I think it's great we did it, but we also think we should take care of the criminals in our own government. Yep, 100%. 100%. Just to clarify, I got off the chat with a TPT rep. You're not allowed to trade silver I'd feel more comfortable trading silver if they let me start with a micro. Yeah, you're not allowed to trade silver micros, yeah. Yeah. Did you say oil? Yeah. Who's saying about oil? Looks like accumulation here. Yep. So everything is just higher, 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 higher. Nasdaq looks a little wedgy, but it's still, I wouldn't touch it with a short. ES is still going here too. Silver, like I said, the only thing I'm looking at really right now is silver. I've already taken my one play on Nasdaq. I wouldn't short this with Maduro's money. I'm just looking for volume, of course. Like the 1 ounce gold futures just trade 5 to 6 instead of the full $10. If I want to size down, I can't. Yeah, I mean that does suck. But silver's pretty nuts. Silver's nuts. So y'all have known I'm new to the 3D printing game, and I've found some really cool stuff to print. The problem I'm running into, stuff takes way too long to print. 15 hours, 18 hours to print some small little box. Because I found like an ammunition box. I could print a bunch of stuff from ammunition that's really cool, but it's going to take me like 2 months to print everything I need for this thing. It's crazy. You have to reduce the fill size and resolution for bigger objects. Yeah, but doesn't that reduce the quality? Like it gets all stringy and stuff? Did you see the press conference? It sounded like he had a stroke. First war where the press says a quiet part out loud, and our oil is store oil. They're taking it back. Ah, yeah. I didn't see it. I haven't watched any of the press conferences. Just what I see on Twitter. Do they make faster printers? Probably. Big green on silver. Gold put on some volume. Might mess with them eventually. Oh, they're fantastic. They're really cool. Right now, that's the only thing keeping me from really getting into the hobby is the fact that things take so long to print. Like it's not practical. Well, I'll print some cool stuff with it here and there, but right now I'm just waiting. The stuff that takes forever, I'm putting it on right before I go to bed and letting it print overnight. I have a bamboo lag as X1C, pretty darn fast, but it still takes time. Lower fill size will do it. Okay. Do you try to print a 557 mag? Did I try to print a 557 mag? What do you mean? All right, here we go. Here's your silver entry. What's silver doing? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mag pull. $77,035. Already got one, homie. It's one of the first things I printed. All right, silver's going. That is a high volume spike, but that's not too high. That's a higher volume, but that doesn't even come close to what we saw in 1044. And even that 1044 candle couldn't stop it. So if silver holds this, it's going to launch. So just be ready. Just be ready. Right here. Make sure I got that unmuted. We're good. As silver closes over this little pie pivot liquidity right here, and it's going to go. And I would probably look for even high. I mean, it's going to go. So this is a big level. If we can reject it, it'll be a big juicy pivot all the way down. But it's got it. We have to confirm this price action right here. This is a pivotal moment for silver. What I would love is to put on a short position and have about a 4-inch red candle. But we gotta wait for confirmation. Life is not that kind. It's absorbing. Right now we have 1.95 billion calls purchased, 972 million puts sold. Very bullish on the option chain. Yet silver is getting ready to launch 77.120 if it can close. We have to wait for the close. After that, we'll target 78.07, but it's building. So just be careful right here. We could have one way or the other. I could make a case for one side, but right now it looks like absorption for a blast higher on silver. Right here. Buyers need to defend if they're going to go. Wait for the close. What is that, Dan? Oh, we got a little potatoes, eggs, arugula, bananas. Dude, you better be working out like a madman. The stuff that you sent. I love it. Good grief, $8,500 margin needed for silver. Yeah, they increased the margin limits on this stuff because it's so ridiculous. They don't want some cat sitting down with $5,000 in their account making $100,000. Another top wick on silver. Can they do it? Can they do it? What am I planning on growing in the garden? Everything. You know, so we want to grow high calorie foods. Strawberries, potatoes, raspberries, crap tons of tomatoes. Every tomato you can think of. So many tomatoes that Italy's going to call me for a copyright infringement. We're doing sweet potatoes, white potatoes. We're doing sweet corn and dent corn to make your own popcorn. It's fantastic. And we're doing everything. Our plan is to document it through a YouTube channel, but we'll see. I've got a lot going on. I don't know if I have enough time to edit those videos. Cucumbers, yeah, a lot of cucumbers. I got a cucumber for you. Let's see. ES has put on a wee itty bitty little top wick. Silver is still top wicking off of this. Maybe we can get a rejection here. Maybe. They need a close though. We need a lower low close. Oh man, silver 77,008. They're just kind of chilling. It looks like absorption. What's gold doing? Gold's starting to top tick just a little bit. So silver is just kind of back and forth. It's holding. We had a couple of high volume spikes in this area, but there's triple touch, and we're just waiting. ES had a nice little top tick, but of course, as usual, insta bottom wick, and it's going. And now they're going to bottom with this even higher. Here comes silver, 77,130. What time is it? All right, London market's close. All right, I think I'm going to call this a day. I think I'm going to call it a day. Any questions? Been an incredibly boring session. Incredibly boring. I've tried to fill it with some witty banner, but this is about as boring as things get. Literally, Christmas, the day after Christmas holiday was better than this. This is absolutely atrocious. So hopefully this is not a sign of things to come in 2026. A couple of decent setups across the board. Silver put on some great setups. NASDAQ put on a great too much too fast this morning. But there you go. Calls are skyrocketing. We have 2.2 billion calls purchased. We have 1.16 billion puts sold for nearly 4 billion of positive delta. So very, very, very bullish. If I had to guess, I'm going to look at silver for a possible setup coming here. I'm not really sure what they're going to do with this. It could go either way. I can make an argument for either way here. It's not tremendously one-sided. So other than that, man, y'all have a good rest of the day. In my opinion, I wouldn't touch nothing. Today's not a day to do anything else. Wait for tomorrow. Of course, as we get deeper into the week, volatility is going to get more robust the closer we get to non-farm payroll. So hope you have a good rest of the day. I'm out. See you.